This video is best viewed in full screen mode, and on YouTube that's this icon right here. And if you have a high bandwidth connection, you also want to watch it in HD, which is this icon right here. Okay, and then we have over here the ability to override the default for the state. So for example, let's say that when the judgment was rendered, you were given 15% interest instead of 10%. So you go over here and fill this out. In this case, we put in the date of the original judgment, and boom. And you notice I had to fill this all out and then click to a different field. And once this is all filled out, then this gets recalculated, and now the total due is $13.18 and change. And if you go over here and you watch me turn this off, you can see that value changes. Also, another circumstance that may come up, perhaps you make a deal with your judgment debtor and say, okay, I will reduce your interest rate to 5%, and we're just going to say as of this particular date in 2008, you made that agreement. And you say, okay, from here on out, if you pay me on time, your interest rate from this date forward will only be 5%. So now what you've done is you've done an override and you've actually reduced the interest rate. And again, if you watch as I check this on and off, the values change and the current interest rate description changes. And that is pretty much everything there is to know about the top portion of the judgment tab. Over here is basically where you put domestications. So your original judgment goes here. Here we have, in this example, we have it domesticated to California. And then there are two more tabs, so you can have up to 3 domestications, which should pretty much cover any scenario you may have. Down here at the bottom is where you put in the information for your original judgment creditor. And you can have up to 3 of them. So you got plenty of space for any kind of scenario. And all these fields are pretty straightforward. The only thing you may wonder about is what these little radio buttons are about. And that is how you distinguish which phone number is their primary phone number. So if you click that, their cell phone now becomes their primary phone number. And that is what you'd want to call first. And then last but not least, over here, if you click on this, it'll show the total due via this account summary report. And what this does is it lists every transaction that has occurred on this judgment to get you to the balance due right now of $1,210. So this is all the steps that have gone through all the financial transactions that have taken place on this judgment to get you to this amount. And you can put this into print this out into a report by using your document creation and by putting in the proper merge fields. If you click here, it shows you what all the merge fields are. And this is covered in a separate video which goes over creating documents. And if you click on the link that's on the screen, it'll take you to it. And that link will also be at the end of the video. Okay, and that is pretty much everything there is to know about the Judgment tab.